That's a raccoon family climbing fences at this time. You can see them on top of the car and climbing fences. They were under Lydia's car first. Now they're climbing fences into the neighborhood. A family of raccoons in the neighborhood. That's weird. I don't see no raccoons in the neighborhood. Well, I hope they're not going to bother anyone next door. There they go. To the neighbor's yard. I think one of them spotted my camera. Or noticed me. No. Okay. That's raccoon. That was a raccoon show, family. Greetings, my audience. I'm going to do a review. But first, I need to get inside. Anyway, my audience, I'm reviewing a review on a movie. And this one got a charger. This one charge. On. Perfect. This is my review on okay, phone's charging. I'm reviewing the Fantastic Four movie from 2005 and X-Men movie from 2000. The first X-Men movie. I mean, the first X-Men movie. Got my fingers mixed up for a second because it's late where I am, past midnight. A little after 2, it was say 3:30 and 3:08 a.m. Not 3:30. 3:08 a.m. in the morning. I've been up all night because I slept pretty much all day yesterday. And I'm wide awake enough to do a review right now. I'm going to give the first Fantastic Four movie from 2005 and the first X-Men movie from 2000, the same final score. A 10 out of 10. I give this a 10 out of 10, although I think that the first X-Men movie could have benefited from a director's cut of the movie if we never saw we never saw a director's cut of flick for the first X-Men movie cut. Only one cut got the theatrical cut. Never got a director's cut. I think it could have benefited from a director's cut, the first X-Men movie, but I still enjoyed it, even though I think it could have benefited from a director's cut. The film itself, the first one, I still enjoyed it. I think it's good enough to give it a 10 out of 10. Because I liked Fox's original take with the X-Men characters and the reimagining with the aesthetic costumes with the X-Men like never before. Seeing like we never saw the X-Men quite like this before. Fox took a crack at it with the first X-Men movie. We never saw the X-Men ever like to look like this before. Ever like this, and that's how we got the interesting fact I found. If one of the writers creators of the Ultimate X-Men never saw the first X-Men movie and only knew the X-Men based off the Fox movies name license, you never would have had the reimagining of the Ultimate X-Men from the Ultimate Universe. I just thought that was kind of interesting. How the first X-Men movie style and the first X-Men movie style of what X-Men looks like was inspired, was inspiring enough, and iconic enough that the Ultimate Universe decided to take inspiration more from the Fox universe than anything else. They only took inspiration from the only new X-Men from the Fox universe originally, and I guess so. And then knew a whole lot about the mythology of the main comics of the 616 universe from the X-Men are from. And that the Fox movie definitely, I guess so the Fox movie definitely changed the way we see the X-Men, for better or for worse. For me, it's kind of mixed. The aesthetic designs of the X-Men. On one hand, they look iconic and all, but on the other hand, I'd rather get the old iconic, one of the other iconic designs look from the comic counterparts wearing the costumes that they already known wearing from the 616 universe, and because I think overall all the costumes from the 616 universe that they're based on overall cool aesthetic designs than what you got for Fox for the original reimagining of the X-Men. I mean, their all black aesthetic leather design is appealing to the eye and all. I just feel like the downside is all the comic book designs are a lot better than what Fox designs were. For the original X-Men trilogy was Hugh Jackman had that problem. And just when you think First Class kind of teased and hinted at like it was going to go through more, take inspiration from the comics with like its future outcomes of movies. You get Days of Future Past, where you find out the X-Men in the past have been disbanded for a while and not been a thing, and it will, and also Charles in the future, the X-Men are on the run from being extinct from the Sentinels taking over the world. Humans and mutants' lives are living hell, and they're enslaved by Sentinels in the future. Days of Future Past plotline. And they need to prevent the assassination of Kelly by Mystique from assassinating back in the 60s. Before she assassinated Kelly, the idea behind the Sentinel program, the guy behind the Sentinel program, so basically you have to stop Mystique creating a bad time paradox from assassinating the creator of the Sentinel program. And which can create the timeline that we see in the X-Men trilogy of the original trilogy, where the world's prejudiced not just to good mutants but all mutants. Just the thought of mutants is the world. The thought of mutants freaks them out because they're dangerous. Is what they're being published, what they're pushed by the press. And the original X-Men trilogy. And even though the X-Men are the heroes, that kind of didn't really change anything because but due to the events of what we see in Days of Future Past in that timeline. Though they never really changed the people's point of view with anything, and the only way to do is like now due to the events of Days of Future. It wasn't the events of Days of Future Past. Is now time travel shit. So Logan is the one that is full and physically can take the time travel trip back to the past. So Logan is the one that talks to Charles Xavier from the past in that movie, Days of Future Past. I realize I'm talking about Days of Future Past now. I give Days of Future Past a 10 out of 10. The theatrical and director extended cut, known as the Road Cut, where, it has a different characters completely cut from the movie, and Rogue takes over for Kitty Pryde, and as well as Kitty Pryde's power, because Kitty Pryde gets mortally wounded by Wolverine's scratching and stuff. So, Rogue takes over for Kitty Pryde, and with the time travel stuff, by absorbing some of Kitty Pryde's power. She keeps Logan in the past then. It was in the Road Cut. That's the only one, that's one of the few differences. And we also see a sex nude scene. We get a sex scene with Beast and Mystique having their freak on together. And she only does it as a diversion, so she can get into Cerebro to sabotage it and destroy Cerebro within the Road Cut. And there are a few different stuff in the Road Cut, but it's obviously overall the same movie. When you see both back to back, there are a few differences here and there, but it's basically the same movie. just that makes more sense with some the story stuff being shuffled around and edited in there. And that's why I give the road cut and theatrical Days of Future Past, X-Men Days of Future Past, a 10 out of 10, and the first one, a 10 out of 10, and Fantastic Four 2005 extended cut extended edition is called, and the theatrical one that everyone knows of, both 10 out of 10. I give both movies a 10 out of 10. The extended edition shuffles and added some few things in the movie, and basically makes more sense for characters' motivations. Well, overall, it's basically the same movie as the theatrical cut. Not that much difference. It's a few minutes longer, like 15 minutes at least longer, I think, the extended edition, but, it's not bad, the extended edition. It's still, I say it's still worth a watch. I mean, I have it on DVD. It's the only way to get it, if you want it physical. I don't think it's streaming right now, the extended edition, on any form, as far as I know of. So, yeah. I give the first Fantastic Four movie a 10 out of 10 because it really does feel like a love letter to the source material that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby worked on and started back in the day. But it feels like it wants to poke fun of that world, so it doesn't take itself doesn't take itself. The tone is kind of cheesy, but also kind of funny at the same time. Like self-aware funny of his source material, for how it holds up very well, I think. It's like, it's kind of like the Ben Stiller movie called Mystery Man. That was also a comic book movie. It took the self-aware approach with these characters from the source material, but it didn't have the main foundation character, the flaming character, within the movie. It just told its original story. This movie tells the origin story of the Fantastic Four, but it tells it with and also tells it with the tone of Ben Stiller's Mystery Man movie. Like, it kind of pokes fun at itself of the movie, that it's a comic book movie, and doesn't try to take all of itself seriously, but it doesn't poke fun of everything. Like, it knows when to shut up and give the fans some comic book action here and there when it does happen. And when it happens, it's pretty epic. When you get to see the Fantastic Four use each special powers in action. And the final climax between Ben Grimm and Doctor Doom leading up to the Four teaming up is an epic showdown. Is epic free act fight. Was Doctor Doom versus the Thing, then versus all four together after first ring all four separate, and then fighting the Things for a bit after the Thing comes back and delivers the line. Now it's clobbering time, and punches Doctor Doom, and he actually says it's clobbering time right before punching Doctor Doom and becoming the Thing again and giving up being Ben Grimm and human, and so to help Reed and the other three of the Fantastic Four. It's pretty cool. I thought the climax in the third act when they all show up to help Reeve and save him from Doctor Doom. Johnny like I thought it was pretty cool how Johnny tests to see if he can fly by literally jumping off the basket building when a news coming to them. When a giant missile's coming to the basket building, he decides to basically jump off the basket building to see if he could and to test his whole theory of if he can fly, and then tries to flame on, and it works. So it was just pretty cool how he was actually managed to fly for the first time and tried it, and it worked. It was awesome. I was saying how he just says flame on out, and he tried flying for the first time, and it worked. And he actually got the missile, chased him away from the basket building, and it worked. And that was a pretty cool scene to see, I thought. This movie, Fantastic Four 2005, I thought was very fun, of a cheesy movie like the comics, but also felt very epic like the comics too, that Jack Kirby and Stan Lee worked on. And I just thought that this felt really cool, like a movie, like a really cool origins movie that felt like a very fun and action packed and epic at times, and also funny. Got to really have good funny moments, and also character interactions with the four. Basically most of the movies just the four have the four. In the whole movie's like an origin story with the four, and it's a very fun origin story, I thought. Like the movie shows the four spending time in the majority in the basket building, testing the limits of the powers and experimenting on their powers, see how the powers work and how to control it and how it can trigger it and how else it works for each four members of the four. So that's how Johnny Storm goes supernova in the basket building for a brief moment, and he's asked to cool it down and saying that's as hard as a sun wish in theory if you ever wishes theory it was just like basically explain how it's really dangerous, saying going supernova can kind of kill us all by it can be dangerous for everybody if it can't be contained. And somehow Sue's power is strong enough to contain the supernova when John goes supernova to heat up Doctor Doom, and after he's to basically turn Doctor Doom, he have Doctor Doom's metal and turn him into a statue. And somehow he's still alive at the end. It teases at his hint of his return in the sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer from 2007 sequel. That was kind of a letdown. A big letdown. That was movie. The sequel. Wasn't that great, I thought. But the first one I thought was awesome. I give the first one a 10 out of 10. The first Fantastic Four movies gets a 10 out of 10, and I enjoy this movie a lot. More than the X-Men movie from 2000, the first one. I enjoy the first X-Men movie more. I enjoyed the first. I think I enjoyed as a movie. I thought the first Fantastic Four movie was a better movie than, or just as good as the first X-Men movie by Fox from the 2000. The 2005 Fantastic Four movie is that great. I give this a 10 out of 10. I approve this movie. And the X-Men movie. And Days of Future Past, X-Men Days of Future Past, I approve that movie too. Okay, that's my review on X-Men movies with Hugh Jackman, the Days of Future Past, and the first one, and the first Fox X-Men movie, and the first Fox Fantastic Four movie from 2005 flick I reviewed today. Now, so hit the thumbs up, like this video, hit comment section if you want to, comment below if you want to, or don't, but subscribe to grow my subscribers, and hit the thumbs up to like this video, please. My content I work hard on. Goodbye, my audience. Good night. I'm Jake Allen Graham for my newcomers, and I'm done making this review video. Goodbye.